In this session, I am going to talk you about who is data engineers and what are their roles and responsibilities. So let's begin. So first of all, who is data engineers? So data engineers are the one who prepare the data for the data consumers in the form they want. So uh, data engineer are the one who prepare the data for data consumers in the form they want the records, right? So let's talk about who all are these consumers. Okay, so data consumers. Data consumers can be anyone, in, like business intelligence team, reporting team, or data science team. You know, so these team basically consume. Uh, these teams are basically the data consumers. So let's begin with some, practical real life scenario. Like suppose if I would say, what is the role of data engineer in any e-commerce firm? Okay, so e-commerce firm, let's take an example of Flipkart. So what can be a role of a data engineer in Flipkart? So we will see in this, lecture. So first, let's talk about the data owners. Okay, suppose in any big e-commerce firm, billions of record getting generated every month or year, you can say. I- So the data owners are the one who is going to manage those records. Suppose let's take the example of Flipkart. In the Flipkart, there can be a multiple table like product table, sales table, customer table. So then can be a multiple table and the data on so for each table a data owners are assigned to manage these tables. They are responsible for managing these tables and the data consumer are the one who is going to use this record. Okay, so I have already talked about this, the data consumer. Who all are data consumers? Data science team, data analyst, reporting team. So these are data consumers who consume these records to you know um, get some insight from this data or do some prediction on the data that help the business owner to grow their businesses. Okay, but but they, like now where is the data engineer? What is their responsibility? Okay, so this data which is which is available here, these data are raw data. Okay, these data are raw data and there may be the chance that data consumers want that data in a different form. Now here comes the role of data engineers. Now that what the data engineers will do, data engineer basically build a process that bring this raw record at some particular place and after that it transform those record in the form in which the data consumer want the records. Okay, So let's talk about this role in detail. So data engineer are basically the bridge between this data owner and data consumer. Okay. So we are taking the example of e-commerce firm. There can be any firm, and the data can come in any, from any sources like website, tables, SQL tables, in file format. Okay. So in any format, from any source in any format, a data can come. And the role of data engineer to bring those data at some particular place. Okay. So what data engineer do? There can be a multiple sources from this, from where this data can come. Okay. Suppose we are saying that, when data is coming from website S1 API, it is coming from API, then S2, and it can be like any source. Okay. S5. So from these sources, data engineer ingest those record, ingest those record means bring that record, bring those record into a data lake. So now you will ask, what is data lake, right? So in a data lake, if I would say one line, we can store the data in structure as well as unstructured format. Even if data is unstructured, we can store in the data lake. That is the main advantage. So these data come through ingestion, like ingest into a data lake. Now the data engineer do, processing of this data. Now, if you now you will ask, what is processing? Processing is nothing but, now we are converting those raw data, right? It is raw data. Now we are converting this raw data in the format that in which the data consumer wanted the record. So in the processing, like it can be anything, like we will remove unwanted record from here. Okay. So that is nothing but filtering of record. Okay. Then we can do some formatting on this record. You know, it can be anything, aggregation on the record, or you can say removing null from the record, null or blank record. So it can be anything. It depends on the data set. Okay. And it can be possible that, these data you will get in CSV format, JSON format. It will be not in the form of table always. Maybe the data owners put your data at some nest location or any location, say point location, in some, different format, JSON format, CSV format, Excel format. In any format they can put the data. So if they will put in the JSON format, what you will do? You will do flattening of record, right? So these are some advanced topic that we will cover later. You can say data flattening. So the, in data processing, basically we make that record in the format in which the data consumer wanted the record. And then we will dump those record in serving layer. After processing this record, data engineer dumps those record in serving layer, that is database and data warehouse, and data consumer team access those record and build report or ML model on top of it that help business to take the better decision. Okay, now let's talk about two approach data engineering approaches. So there are two approaches, one is ELT and other one is ETL. So ETL is basically the traditional approach, you know. So this is basically traditional approach. And in this approach, before loading the record itself, data engineering team transform those record, you know. So this after transforming the record, they dump those record into data warehouse. Okay, you can say load into data warehouse. And if the further transformation is required, data engineering team do in data warehouse. But this approach is costly. Storing the record and then processing on data warehouse is very costly. Storing and processing on data warehouse is very costly. So we move to another approach called ELT. So in ELT, from the multiple sources, data engineering team bring those record in the Delta Lake as it is in raw form, and then data engineering team do the transformation based on the requirement, and then dump those record into data warehouse or database. This is a serving layer for data consumers. So let's end this video. I hope you like this video. Um, in future, I will be making some more informative video related with data engineering. So please subscribe to get the notification. Thank you.